This is your boy TA. Thank you for tuning into my show, The Truth Hurts. And today we're going to be talking about Yeshua and the rich man. Yeshua means Christ, means Jesus, not Christ, but it means Jesus. Yeshua means God is with us. Christ means the Son of the living God. And I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. You know how we do it here. We're going to play a little music to kind of get you into the worship mode, of get you into the getting ready to read the Bible mode. And we got a lot of things to cover on this, okay? We're going to be going to Genesis chapter 27, verse 29. So if you go to Genesis chapter 27, verse 29. Also, first put your finger on Luke. We're going to go to Luke chapter 16, verse 1. Luke chapter 16, verse 1. Get into the mode. Get into the mode, okay? You're about to get a real blessing here. What you think is not what you read is not what you think, and what you think is not what you read. Get it? This is not a traditional Bible study. This is called The Truth Hurts. We get down with the truth that churches today don't teach. And it might step on some toes, it might hurt some feelings and hurt some hearts. But in 2 Timothy 2 and 15, I believe it says, study yourself approved unto the Lord, a workman that needs not to be ashamed. So study yourself and then be approved by God once you study. That means study hard. A workman needed not to be ashamed. You do not need to be ashamed of what you work, of your work, studying God's work. You know how you study so hard and all you do is study the Bible. People looking at you and your family members walking by your bedroom, and all they can see is you studying that Bible every day, every minute, every hour. They be like, man, why you studying the Bible so much? You don't care what they think, you don't care what they say, you don't care how people look at you, your friends, you don't care what they say about you when it's time to go out and have fun with them. Instead, you're studying yourself approved unto the Lord. A workman that needed not to be ashamed. And then once you study yourself approved and you're not ashamed of that, then it says rightly providing the word of truth. Now we can provide the word of truth. I'm providing you the word of truth. This is The Truth Hurts. I hope that you're there now. Luke chapter 16, verse 1. I'll give you a minute to get there. One more minute. Send me some comments. I will comment you back. Send me information, whatever you can send me to make this a better show. If the Lord touched some hearts today, let me know. I would like to give you more of what God has for you. Okay, Luke chapter 16, verse 1. So I want y'all to stay with me because this is deep. And where are we going with this? Where is Lazarus and the rich man? Is talking about the rich man who had all the fine stuff, had all the riches, the house, the cars, the horses, the barns, the camels, whatever you want to call it. And the clothes, the fine linen in purple, all that type of stuff. And, and the poor man was full of sores, sick all the time, You know what I mean? Needed medicine all the time, needed treatment. And the dogs, no one would treat the poor man, so the animals treated him. You know how dogs always lick each other to when they got a sore on their body. They tongue have some type of antibiotic in it to where it can heal. So the dogs ministered to the poor man's needs instead of the rich man. So where are we going all this? What is all this? I mean, you know what? I mean, with this suffering stuff, and is all this even worth it? Is all this even me talking to you about this Bible study? You going to work every day, slaving every day, coming home and dealing with all the mess at home. Then it's a routine every day for 30, 40, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. Where's all this going? Okay, in chapter 16, verse 1 in Luke. I'm reading out the King James Version. I like the King James Version because they say this is the best version. But first of all, let's get everybody. I don't read King James Version because King James was a punk. I don't know where y'all getting this. He was a homosexual stuff. Okay, he was a homosexual and blah, blah. That doesn't stop God from you. God used Hitler. Hitler was a murderer. He killed over 6 million Jews, kids and all. And God still used him as his servant. So if God can use somebody as evil as Hitler to start something that really was a great start, if you get what I'm saying, if y'all know this, then surely he can use a homosexual, right? To write something down on a scroll or a piece of paper. Come on, man, y'all. Okay. So, Lazarus and the rich man. First of all, and he said also unto his disciples, this is Jesus talking to his disciples, there was a certain rich man which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods. And he called him and said unto him, how is it that I hear of this of thee? Give an account of thy stewardship, for thy mayest be no longer steward. I'm sorry, we're gonna read from 16, chapter 16, skip 1 through 18, and we're gonna start with verse 19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. And fared sumptuously every day. That means he was groomed every day to very nice and clean, and the gold tee, probably had a gold nugget in the right or left right there, had the edge up in the back, he was groomed, sumptuously. Every day he looked good. Every day he was dressed to the T. Every day he had the snake skins on. Every day he had the Jordans on, whatever you want to call it. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus who begged for food. You know how we see people hungry for food? He was begging, like, please, begging. Probably was his slave. You know what I mean? No telling. There was a beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores. Imagine you had a big house and there's a man laying at your gate begging for food, knowing that you got all the food in the world. You got servants that you pay. You got people working in the fields that you pay. You got people on your time clock just doing all kind of technology work for you. I mean, keeping up with your bookings and all that. And you got and you got a man that know you got all this, and he know you got all this, and he's just laying at your gate. Okay, this is deep now. I'm going to go deep, so y'all keep up with me. Okay, first of all, they say, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus. What does the word Lazarus mean? First of all, I want to know, what does the word Lazarus mean? So we talking about Lazarus. We always talking about Lazarus and how Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead, and how Lazarus and the rich man. Well, first of all, what does the word Lazarus mean? Lazarus mean in Hebrew Elazar. Elizar. Elizar. Elazar. Elazar. Lazarus, Elazar. Lazarus, Elazar. That means God has helped. God has fulfilled his word and has helped us. We're finna get more deeper into that. Lazarus means God has helped us. It means God has helped. The word has means he has already done it. Get it? We're finna go deep. So here's a man named Lazarus that Jesus raised from the dead, and the man's name means here's God has helped us that was raised from the dead. Lazarus means God has helped. So Jesus helped Lazarus by raising him from the dead. Now here's another Lazarus that's being blessed off this story right here. Remember, the word Lazarus means Elazar in Hebrew. Elazar means God has helped. That's Lazarus' name. Okay. So we got the name Lazarus out of the way. We know what it means. Okay. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus which laid at his gate full of sores. Y'all see people with sores all over their body. Y'all seen it, man. You seen it on East Lancaster. You seen it on Berry Street. I'm talking about y'all from Funky Town, Fort Worth, Texas. Y'all see it on Miller Avenue. You see them at the corner stores, people laying out on the ground. Y'all come on, man. Y'all see all them sores on it. Y'all know how it look. People that's from the streets and know the streets. I'm not talking about y'all who are uppity duppity. I'm not talking about y'all. This Bible study is for y'all too. But as far as the streets, y'all green. This is the truth. Don't look at me like that. This is the truth hurts. So this is not a traditional Bible study. So we're going on. So verse 21 said, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs. He desired to be fed with crumbs. It don't matter what you feed, man. Y'all can eat that Chick-fil-A. I don't care. Just give me that's leftover that you chewed on. Man, you can have that Kentucky chicken. Give me the bones. This is gonna be a piece of lineage, or fat, or something gonna be on that bone where I can eat that, and that'll give me a little bit of protein where I can walk to the next block. So he desired to be fed with crumbs. Excuse me. Which fell from the rich man's table. Y'all see that? That fell from the rich man's table? Some of y'all won't even eat something that somebody made for y'all. I'm one of them. I have to know how your kitchen look. You can't have a lot of roaches, rodents. For you to cook me something and bring it to me, I have to watch you. I'm that picky. But they say he desired to eat crumbs. He was that hungry. What's wrong with y'all, man? Which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it said to eat from the master's table, he ate the crumbs from the master's table. He desired that. He dreamed every day to get up, man, I can't wait to get them crumbs, man. You know how we wake up and say, man, I can't wait to go to Whataburger in the morning and get me a sausage biscuit sandwich or egg and cheese tortilla, taquita, you know? We can't wait. He wake up in the morning at the gates and I can't wait to eat the leftover bones or the crumbs that fell on the ground from that man's table. He couldn't wait for that. Which reminds me of a story. We're gonna get back, we're almost done with this story right here. Y'all ain't doing nothing, y'all need to be listening to this because it's deep. Back in, I believe, 1800s, I'm not for sure. Let's find out the exact date. Let's see the exact date of this. Y'all ever heard of the Goodbye Uncle Tom movie? I know that pissed some of y'all when we watched that movie, And you got I got the all overview of Goodbye Uncle Tom. And did you see the part with the black slave kids? They were the little kids that like dogs sitting on the table while all the white slave masters was eating all the good food and what they had left. The kids' eyes was real big, like an animal looking up like a dog. And they say this is a documentary. So this is a true story, a true movie. And whenever one of the guests of the master's table was finished eating out the chicken bone or whatever, or the crumbs on the plate, or whenever the master got to eating, she would throw it on the table and they'll run to it like a dog and I'll fight for it and start eating like that. Do you know that's a true story? That's real, that we was really treated that way? It says it right here. It says, I asked the question. This is an overall view of everybody's agreement. It says, yes, enslaved people in the 1800s sometimes resorted to eating crumbs from slave owners' tables, especially when faced with extreme hunger and inadequate rations. Wait a minute, that goes with this scripture. And Lazarus, which means God has helped, desired to be fed. The kids was desiring to be fed the crumbs and the bones from the master's tables on that movie. They say when we make movies, it's really something that we done true in life. It just movies, it's just something coming out of the past or the future, something that's coming up in the future. It says, and he desired to be fed crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. And right here it says, yes, enslaved people in the 1800s sometimes resorted to eating crumbs from slave owners' tables, especially when faced with extreme hunger and inadequate rations. He has sores all over his body in the Bible. That's inadequate rations. What? Don't look at me like that. I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm showing y'all what we're not teaching in church of what this really means. We're finna go deep. So in verse 22, after they fell from the rich man's table, moreover, dogs came and licked his sores. It said Frederick Douglass' memoirs provide a powerful account of this reality. He recounts instances, this Frederick Douglass, instances where he was so hungry that he would fight with the dog for crumbs that fell from the kitchen table. And in the Bible, it says in Luke chapter 16, verse 21, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table, which is the master. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. He said that, and Frederick Douglass, which wasn't even in the Bible days, that time, 2,000 years ago, said he had to fight with the dogs just to eat the crumbs from the slave master's table. He also describing, see y'all, watch, we finna go deep. He also describes following the enslaved woman who shook out the tablecloth to gather crumbs and small bones intended for the animals. So they was in accordance with the animals according to the masters. The slave masters look at them as animals. That's why we eat chitlins and pig feet. That was the leftover after what they cut all the goods. You had to eat the pig feet, and we steady carry that slave mentality right now today. Shame on y'all. Shame, 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 shame. That's why I stopped eating pork. They say she took out the tablecloth and shook it. So all the stuff that she shook out was intended for the animals. But they took it instead because they had nothing else to eat, man. Nothing else to eat. It is important to understand the context of this, y'all. Enslaved people will often give meager and monotonous rations, primarily consisting of cornmeal and salted meat or fish. These rations were not always sufficient to meet demands of their labor, leading to hunger and the need of supplement their diet through whatever means possible. It just pisses me off. But I'm also full of joy because I got something to share with y'all. Okay, so we got through the licking the swords, the dogs, and the master's tables, and the crumbs, and what Lazarus' name means. God has helped us. God has helped. That means he has already helped. Lazarus means God has helped. Has is past tense. So after that, in verse 22, it said, and it came to pass that the beggar died. Lazarus died. Finally died. Out of there, gone. Bloop. And was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. Okay. Abraham's bosom. Lazarus was carried, soul, body, spirit, was carried to Abraham's bosom. So Abraham's bosom does not mean what y'all think. If y'all want to know what Abraham's bosom means, Abraham's bosom is the place of rest of the children of Jacob. Was carried to the children of Jacob, Abraham's bosom, meaning that the seed of Abraham. So Abraham's bosom is the seed of Abraham, and he was carried to be with that seed. That's us. And the rich man died and he was just buried. He wasn't carried to Abraham's bosom, meaning that he was not carried. Abraham's bosom meaning that he was called by God to come to where God had said he was going to be. God has written in the Bible of when we're called to be with him, we're called to be with him when we leave this body. And that's where he went. All the children of Jacob, all the children of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob was chosen by God to be with him forever after all this is over. And that's where he went. But the rich man didn't go there. He was just buried. Let's see what it says. Let's keep in mind that the same begging for food, begging for crumbs on the table, African Americans had to beg for crumbs on the tables when our ancestors were slaves. Y'all remember that now. The same thing that the Bible said over 2,000 years ago was imitated from the Egyptians and the Israelites who were slaves in Egypt. They had to eat from the master's table for over 400 and some plus years. And we had to eat from the master's tables for and eat crumbs from under their table for over 400 plus years. Frederick Douglass is a true witness to that. And the overall review even said it right here on social media. So we got past that. The rich man was buried. Lazarus went to be up with God where God promised he would be. Okay? You're with me now? That's Abraham's bosom. Some of us is just going to be buried. Some of us is going to be to Abraham's bosom. Okay? Now, I'm talking about all of us who are called and chosen are going to be in Abraham's bosom. When it's all said and done, when it's all over. But we have some Uncle Toms out there who are also against our own kind. We're going to get into that. And in verse 23, it says, and in hell, he lift up his eyes, being in torment. They talking about the rich man, the slave master, the Esau's, the Edomites. He died, lift up his eyes, being in torment, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. That's talking about the end of time. That's talking about when it's all said and done. The word, when God prophesied that he was going to bring us all back together and we was going to be back with him, that's him. That's all of our oppressors. The rich man represents our oppressors. The rich man represents the slave masters. The rich man represents the racist police who beat Rodney King, who beat all the innocent brothers and sisters who was shot when they didn't even have a gun on them or no weapon, who was shot and was innocently and died and murdered by the hands of a police officer or a racist act, or who was lynched or who was raped. Those are our oppressors who made us slaves for years and years, and still, to this day of time, slavery is in a modern day technology type thing now. They're putting viruses in the air, putting stuff in the food. They know where we shop. They know what we buy. They know the lotions that we use for our skin. They know what we can afford. They know the census reports. The rich man is those people who did all that. The high authority, the government, the presidents who know secret stuff that we have not a clue. We don't know what's going on. They know what's going on. They know how it happened. They know how those 10,000 people died. The rich man is those dictators over those countries, who all those people who have died and starving, and they made them starving and using them for experiment, using their own kind for experiment, and putting gases in the air for experiment and killing their own people. That's the rich man, killing us, using us for experiments. Our slaves, our ancestors who were slaves here, had to eat crumbs from our master's tables. It's in accordance with Luke chapter 16, verse 19. It goes in accordance with that. We're Lazarus. African Americans really mean God has helped. That's what African Americans mean if you really want to be technical with it. We are the lost children of Hebrews. We are the lost children of Israel. We are part of that inheritance. Our ancestors were slaves here in this country, and we had to eat crumbs from the master's table, just like Lazarus had to do. We represent Lazarus, and the rich man represents our slave masters. Y'all better recognize. Y'all need to know this Bible. So we got that out the way. Lazarus represents us. The rich man represents the government, the racist people, the KKK, the skinheads, the people who hate us. What other race, what other tribe have eaten from the master's table? I'm talking about what other race did this for 400 plus years in Egypt, and they were black then there and had to eat from the master's tables here, the crumbs from the master's tables right here in this country as slaves. What other race had to do that? The ones that they called the European Jews was murdered and it was over with quick. They was not slaves here for no 400 plus years. We're the only ones that had to do it like that. So Lazarus represents us. That means God is with us. God is with us, y'all. We got it going on. Look up to your color, your skin color, your race, your hair kind. Don't let them intimidate you of thinking that we are doomed. We are not. I'm going to prove it right now. Okay. So we know what the rich man represents. We know what Lazarus represents, right? Okay. So their time is coming. So he lifted up his eyes in verse 23, the rich man, the government, the KKK, people who hate us, people who are prejudiced against us because they really know who we are. And there are some who don't know who we are. They think they're better than us because they know we were slaves here. But they don't understand the dynamic. They don't understand the chain of command of this. They ignorant. Let them be. The Bible said they were going to be. Their time is coming too for treating us like that. See, this is real Bible study. This is telling you the real truth of what this really means. He lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and he saw Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. So the government time had came. The world, the second coming has come. Jesus was the first coming. When he came and walked with us, that was the first coming. So the second coming is everybody who didn't accept Christ, everybody who didn't believe, everybody who treated us bad, everybody who didn't do none of what God says is going to burn. Not no hell, it's going to be a lake of fire, and you're going to burn, you're going to suffer, you're going to pay for all that, what you did. You're going to pay. We're going to pay. Whoever didn't do what God said do, blah, 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 who was chosen, you're going to pay too. If you was my color and you didn't do what God said, you're going to be right with the Esau's. You're going to burn with them. But God is going to give you another time, is going to give you another chance on the next coming after the second coming to bow down and worship and all that and blah blah. That's when the Esau's, the racist people, all the white people, all the other race people who was racist against us, who made us slaves here in this country, all of them will have a chance and blah 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 blah, and then they will have to serve us. See, the treating us like slave things ain't gonna stop. It don't matter how much we preach, because prophecy has said they're gonna do this to the end of time. But they have to pay for that. But they're gonna have their good too. They're gonna be blessed and have on the new earth now. They're gonna be blessed too. But we will be served by them because we served them for thousands of years. We served them for hundreds of years, for centuries and decades to this day. We're still the lowest of everybody. We're still being treated the worst. And we're still the main target. Excuse my French. So this is us. Y'all understand that. Okay. So, and in hell, this is the third coming. First coming, the second coming, and then the end. Put it like that, not the end. Well, the second coming. This is him lifting up his eyes. This is all the Uncle Toms and all that lifting up his eyes. Saying what? This is what this represents. This is not just one man. This is the government. This is all the racist people. This is all the people who have murdered, who have treated us bad, who have made us slaves. This is all the people who have done that. This is them lifting up their eyes. This is all the people who hate God's people. All the Hitlers out there who murdered us, who want to see us gone, who put viruses in the air and want to kill us, who put stuff in our foods and in our chemicals and our lotions and in our hair products. This is the people who they talking about. And in hell they, it said he lift up his eyes, but we can replace that he would. And in hell they lift up their eyes, being in torments, afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. They was in torment looking at us. Lazarus mean us. God had helped Lazarus. Now Lazarus getting all his help. They had looked up like this, looking at Lazarus, up in Abraham's bosom, meaning looking up at the children of Israel, looking up at the children of Jacob, looking at all the children of Jacob, all having fun with God now. Oh, we got our time now. Y'all watched us in torment. Y'all watched our wives get raped, right? Y'all watched us get murdered and killed. Y'all watched the media put all that on the news, and the whole world seen us be murdered, killed, and sprayed with fire hoses and burnt our houses and burnt us to death and lynched us. Y'all watched this. The whole world watched. Now they're watching. Now they're watching. It said right here. It said, and in hell he lifted up his eyes and from afar off seen the children of Jacob. Seen Lazarus playing with the children of Jacob. Having fun with the children of Jacob. So let's read it verbatim what the scripture said. And he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeing Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. So he saw Abraham, and he saw, and so when he said he saw Abraham, he seen the children of Israel and Abraham and all that. Excuse me. And then he seen Abraham, then afar off, and then seen us. Lazarus, meaning God has helped us now. And all of the rich men, all of the high authority, all the government looking up, saying, oh man, we seen it happen to them, now it's happening to us. See, you reap everything you sow. There's a repercussion for everything you do. And then the rich man, and then the government, and then the KKK, the skinheads, and then the murderers out there, the people who hate us just because we're black or brown or yellow. They hate us because our hair is like this. Why do y'all hate? Why are you hating us like that? Because it says you're gonna do that. Because we was disobedient. We're still disobedient. God had turned all of them against us, gave them a probate mind, thinking they're doing right when they're really doing wrong because of our disobedience. We so disobedient, we so evil, but we're not on that right now. I want to teach y'all about this. And he cried out and said, Father Abraham, this is like we cried out to the slave masters, please, Father, please don't whip my brother. Please don't whip him with that whip. Or we cried out to God. We cried out plenty of times for them not to treat us the way they treated us. But no one heard our cry. We were still murdered, and we're still being murdered today by the police. We're still being murdered today by scientists who's whipping up stuff. Yeah, scientists, doctors, shooting us up with stuff. Man, the word is out. Everybody who try to tell the truth or who want to tell the truth or who do tell the truth on social media, y'all want to go kill them. Plotting to get me too. Your time is coming. Our time is now. We was disobedient and did wrong, so we're paying for it. And you know this. You're rubbing it in our faces. But your time is coming too. Okay. So he cried out like we cried out. We cried out and didn't nobody want to hear us. We crying out to the Justice Department, the system today. We're in front of the Capitol. We're looking for civil rights to change the laws of the police department, the justice system. I mean, y'all keep convicting us, putting us in prison when we're innocent. Y'all doing all kind of stuff to us in labs and stuff. I mean, just experiments on us. Y'all doing all kind of crazy stuff. And we're crying out to the justice system, to legislators to change these laws about what y'all doing. And this secret y'all got society, these groups and stuff, is so fearful that everybody's afraid to really tell the truth, and no one is hearing us. And now y'all are doing the same thing. Y'all crying out to Father Abraham now. Now y'all crying out to us. Have mercy on me and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. Send your people, he's saying. Send the one that God has helped. Lazarus means God has helped. Send Lazarus. This is the government. This is the KKK. This is the people who have oppressed us for thousands of years, crying out now saying, send the children of Jacob and let them get water and give it to us. Because there's going to be millions of y'all in torment. And then y'all going to see millions of us and y'all going to be crying out. Y'all going to be crying out now. And God is saying, now saying, and Abraham, have mercy on me and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. They're going to be tormented. We was tormented. What? We was tormented. And we're still being tormented. Who else is being tormented no more than us? Nobody. Discriminating us like we trash. We're not. We are not trash. We are human beings and we are a special chosen people, and you have to respect that. Torment, they're going to be tormented in flame. Y'all ain't going to die. It's going to be forever until the end. And then y'all have y'all time. But y'all going to have to serve us too. You just can't just get all this good stuff now, all your time on earth, and then expect to die and then have good stuff after that and don't pay for what you did. Better get it right now. You're going to have to pay for that. We have to pay. We're paying for it now. God chose us. We chose to be disobedient. We're paying for that now. And y'all have to pay for what y'all doing to God's chosen. That's us. African Americans, y'all call African Americans. Americans. Black and brown. Americans. Yahweh shall know what he's doing. Yeshua died for us. Cried out to God. Cried out to Father Abraham. Said, now he crying out. Y'all don't have to cry out. This is what this means. They don't teach this because it's scary. They don't want to hear this. They try to burn your church building down. But Abraham said, son, remember thou in thy life? Remember your life, the time you received the good things? That's what it said in verse 25. Remember all the good things you received in life? Remember all the mansions? I stay right over here by TCU. I see all the good stuff all these people have here. All the Esau's. They have all the finest stuff over here. Everybody's happy, living good. Not worrying about, I'm talking about for as material, the worldly type stuff. Everybody got what they want. They're not miserable. And you can go 10 minutes down the way and there's a whole lot of misery. None but African Americans and Latinos, miserable as I don't know what. sad, mad at the world, drugs infested over there, and you hear gunshots every 2 minutes. Over here, I ain't hearing not one gunshot since I've been here, and it's been a while. So that's why you said, remember all the good stuff you had, rich man? Not talking about just rich. We talking about all the good stuff that y'all, everybody's being treated right. Everybody's getting jobs. We get turned down more, getting all the good treatment. You see all the other tribes, race of people driving around. More of them have better stuff. We're the poorest of the poorest. That's why you see a lot of people who are very, very rich. You know what I mean? And this goes for a lot of black people too. Brown people, whatever you want to call it. Rich. And y'all treat your own tribe wrong. Y'all going to be judged too. This is for y'all too. Y'all are part of that. In that, looking up saying, Father Abraham, please, y'all going to be saying the same thing. Y'all going to be with the Esau's. All the Uncle Toms who jumped on the bandwagon of the KKKs, the racist people, all the slave masters who jumped on their bandwagon and chose to treat us bad with them. You helped lynched us. On the second coming, your time is coming too. But you still have a seat because God chose you. But you got to be taught a lesson too. Like you taught us a lesson. What? Don't look at me like that. Y'all don't love me. Y'all do not love me. So what do I care about if I'm hurting feelings or not? You hated me from the beginning. So when he cried out, God said, remember the good life you had, all the good things, all the Mercedes Benzes, the mansions, the good job that you had got when you didn't even qualify for those jobs. They gave it to you anyway. Because of the way you look, because of your fair hair and your color of your skin was not dark. And likewise, Lazarus, evil things. But now he is comforted, and you are tormented. So God said, Abraham said, Lazarus got all the evil stuff. He got all the leftovers from the pig that y'all gave the slaves. He got all the crumbs from the master table that y'all gave all the little kids. That was all hiding up under the table like a dog, waiting for y'all to throw it on the ground. Lazarus got all the evil stuff. They said that's evil. It says, and he got all the evil things. The evil thing, that means that was evil to give us that. And we still carry that tradition to this day. We want to make chitlins on what? What is it, Juneteenth or something? I don't know. I don't celebrate that mess. What's wrong with y'all? We're teaching the wrong things, y'all. That means it's evil to eat chitlins. That's of evil. It says it right here. Lazarus, evil things. You got the good things, and likewise, Lazarus, evil things. Lazarus getting crumbs and bones and pig feet. And that the slaves, we was eating all that stuff that they gave us. They ate the good stuff and gave us the evil things. The stuff that God said not to eat, they gave it to us. So whatever you do that's against God is of what? Evil. So God said don't eat that, and they gave it to us. That act that they gave us was of what? Evil. That's why they say in Lazarus, the evil things he received. Y'all got to pay for that, man. And then it say, now Lazarus is comforted. Now God has comforted us. Y'all paying for it now. Now y'all looking at us having fun. Y'all gonna be able to see us. Y'all gonna be able to see us. Now God said, now Lazarus has come. That means God has saved. It said God has helped. It said, but now he is comforted. And you are tormented. First, we was tormented. We're being tormented now. And our ancestors. Y'all tormented them. And y'all doing it to us by doing stuff to making us die quicker than what we're supposed to be dying. Cancers and stuff, all this stuff y'all putting in our neighborhoods, polluting our air in our communities, all that stuff. So now God is saying Lazarus, meaning us, meaning God has helped, we're comforted now. That time with after the second coming, the world is the end, when World War III hit and all this gonna be over, we're gonna be comforted, y'all. We're gonna be comforted. It says it, and we're comforted. Y'all gonna be looking at us now and saying, man, I wish I had that. You know how we see all these rich, these wealthy folks out here, man, living good, being treated good, being treated like royalty. And they're gonna be wishing that when they see us. See, I'm breaking it down to you all who are the real, true children of God here. We have been tormented and suffered for thousands of years, hundreds of years. Okay, so now we're comforted. This is prophecy, y'all. This is what this means. Research it. Look it up. Look it up. You got to do your research. You have to study yourself. I can't just go through the whole Bible with y'all in one day. Continue to tune into my show, The Truth Hurts, and you'll learn a lot. And then in verse 26 it said, and beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot. So it was a great gulf, to where, like, the Gulf of the Gulf. The water is so big, you can't even cross it. Probably was full of fire to where you can't get to. So they'll be able to look where we're at and see us, but can't get to us. You know what that means? They're going to be crying out for help, and help, and they ain't going to be able to. They're not going to be able to get the help they want. What? How many years and how many times you've seen on TV protesting to change this, to change that, about how they treating us, to let this innocent man go from prison, to let this innocent woman go from prison, to give us our justice of somebody that has been murdered, wrongfully killed. Come on, man. How many times have we not gotten what we've asked for? How many times have we tried to reach the government and reach them to get them to hear us, and they had a big gulf in between us to where we are not heard. We were not heard, and we still to this day are not being heard. So we're not able to get to them. They're not able to get to us because it's a great gulf between them and us. Lazarus and the rich man. And it says, pass from hence to you, and you cannot pass to us. Can they pass to us that would come from there also? So we can't get to them, and they're not going to be able to get to us. God is going to have it fixed. Then he said, I pray thee, therefore, Father, that thou would send him to my father's house. He's saying, go tell my people before they die, or before God get them and they get here. You know how we used to try, we hear it all the time. We would go and we begged the slave masters. They begged the slave masters to to hear their plea. We begged the judges to hear our plea. the prosecutor's in jail. I was in jail and they give you these court-appointed lawyers and you got 5 minutes to make a decision and all that stuff. They pressure you. And if you don't make this decision, you're looking at 20, 30 years type stuff. And if you go do a open plea, you might get 100 years of life because you will be talking in front of the judge. You don't have a mediator, which is called an attorney, to represent you. So they throw the book at you when you do that and they don't hear us. And they give us time that we didn't deserve. And then it says, send them to my father's house, for I have 5 brothers, and they have my testified that he may testify to them, lest they also come into this place of torment. So he wants them to go tell his brothers and tell them about this place so they won't come here. They wouldn't let us warn our people. See, this is what this means. Y'all thinking it means this and it don't. This is real truth. Y'all don't want to hear people don't want to hear the real truth, especially people who are not chosen, because they have to pay for what they did. This is a legacy being left right here today. And Abraham said to him, they have Moses and the prophets, let them hear him. Hear them. So he said, if they don't get it before they die, they're going to have to suffer just like they did. They're suffering now. They got the Bible and all that. Read the Bible. Go to church. They're going to tell you all this. Let them tell y'all. But we can't go and tell your brothers nothing. There's not going to be no hope is what this is saying. Say, let the prophets tell him. Let Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, nay, Father Abraham. But no, Father Abraham is with him. No, please don't tell me that. He said, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And he said unto him, if they didn't hear Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. They're saying if they're not going to hear Moses, they're not going to believe the Bible. They didn't believe what the Bible told them. They didn't believe what we was trying to preach to them. They didn't believe what we tried to prophesy to them. They killed us. They didn't want to hear it. They killed our prophets. They murdered us. They murdered our doctors. They murdered the attorneys here. Everybody who was telling the truth, they murdered about what we're supposed to eat. They murdered the doctors about that. So he said, I sent them and y'all killed them. I did send them. I sent Malcolm X. I sent Martin Luther King. I sent Marcus Garvey. I can keep going and y'all killed them. So what good is it me sending the dead to warn your brothers? And he said, if they didn't hear Moses and the prophets, neither would they be persuaded from who I send. Boy, I tell you what. That's some good stuff. Y'all better rejoice because our time is coming. Y'all thinking our loved ones died and they finna suffer? The ones who did evil is gonna suffer for a period. But there's another coming where they're going to be with us as well. But they're in Abraham's bosom. They're with the children of Jacob, right? In rest. You better start believing in reincarnation. Let's go to Genesis chapter 27 and 29. Watch how you treat God's chosen. Better watch out. Yeah. Okay. Genesis chapter 27, verse 29 says this. Okay. Uh-oh, am I in the right one? I better be. Yes, I am in the right one. And okay, 27 and 29, then we're gonna go to 27 and verse 40. I mean 38 through 41. This is some good stuff. If y'all leave, you better watch it later, because I'm telling you, you're finna miss out on some teaching. Okay. It says in 27 and verse 29. Oh, I love this right here. Okay, yes. It says, let's start with 28. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Okay? So God right here is talking to Jacob, and God is telling him what's about to happen. See, we think that this is it, all this suffering and stuff. But this is what God is telling Jacob that's about to happen. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. They're going to have to serve us. They're going to have to bow down to us. Let their mothers and sons bow down to us. And everybody who curse us will be cursed. And everybody who bless us will be blessed. And God was talking to Isaac, and Isaac blessed Jacob, and all kind of chaos went on after that. So everybody who cursed us is going to be cursed. Y'all remember that. All these bad things, these awful, evil things that's happening against us, they're going to be cursed, because it's a curse on us. And all of y'all who have blessed us will be blessed. I keep saying us. I'm talking about we are the lost children of the children of Jacob here in this country, y'all. Y'all call us African Americans. We're Americans here, yes. But we are the children of Jacob. All through the Bible, it proves who we are. No, we're not yellow-skinned like y'all want us to be. High cream, yellow. No. Some of us have that. We're different shades. Hebrew children are different shades. But y'all want us to look like this, and we're not there. Y'all want us hair to be like this, and it's not. Bless us so you can be blessed as well. Stop cursing us and looking down on us. Your time is going to come to where you're going to have to serve us. Don't get into this. This Bible was made for us. Don't get into this Bible if you can't accept the truth. This is true here. That's why they want to kill us. That's why they killed Christ. Satan is the high authority. He is the government. He is the KKK. He is the racist people going out trying to murder us and kill us. He is those people who have plotted conspiracy against us because of who we are, who hate us because of who we are. They hate us. They hate us. Verse 27 and 29 says this. Well, let's go to 27 and 40 now. So they be blessed. Blessed so you can be blessed. You keep cursing, you're going to be cursed. In verse 38, it says, and Esau said, the Esau is the people I just named. That's everybody who's against us. Everybody who's against us. Everybody who hate us is the Esau. Everybody who want to kill us is the Esau's. Everybody who made us slaves is the Esau's. Everybody who wants to see us extinct is Esau's. Everybody who wrongfully keep convicting us of crimes that we did not commit is the Esau's. But Esau will be blessed as well. But you still have to serve us because you made us serve you here. You put us in slaves just to be served here. You made us eat crumbs from your table when we was here. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? Esau is talking about telling God, that's all you give me is one blessing? Even me also, oh my father, and even Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Oh, why are you doing this to me? They're going to be weeping, crying, saying, why? We reaped and cried. God, why you made? Imagine all them hundreds of thousands, millions of thousands of slaves under the bottom of that ship who have been snatched and taken away from their wives and kids and families and daughters and sons, who don't know where they're at, don't know what part of the ship they're in, or if they're dead, or if they have been thrown overboard into the water. How many of them can you even imagine how many of them cried out, just like Esau's crying out? How many of them have cried out to God, saying, God, why? Why me? Why us? Because we was disobedient, but we cried out and they heard it. They heard it and came to the bottom of the ships and beat us and said, shut up. Beat us when we was sick. A lot of us died. Millions of us died and was thrown overboard the ship. Our ancestors, slaves. And it said, Esau said, Father, why? He said he cried out with a loud voice and wept. A lot of us cried out and wept. Now it's his time. Now it's y'all time. It's coming. That's what this means, is what I'm saying. And be haste with it. Let's rush this time, y'all, so we can get out of this agony. It's the reason why we're number one dying from cancers and sicknesses, why we die the most when viruses hit. Because they're drowning our neighborhoods with drugs. And it causes, we're the highest percentage on substance abuse. Number one on the list. Our immune system is more weaker. So when the viruses hit, they know it's going to kill us the most. It's a chain of command. It's a step from the bottom to the top. We start with this and it's going to end up like that. If we do this many will die after that. And Isaac his father, he said he wept. In verse 39 he said, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion. Yeah, he's talking about them. One day y'all will have y'all fatness. You got the fatness of the earth and of the dew of the heaven and from the above. I see y'all big mansions. Bill Gates, on up to everybody, all of the richest to the rich. Y'all got y'all good stuff. No oppression. No, none of that. Get the best jobs. Y'all get the best jobs. Y'all can be doing wrong. The police don't pull y'all over like they do us. You go to court and you get a slap on the wrist when we get 20 years. And it can be the same kind of crime and hate. Y'all do hate crimes and kill us and only get a slap on the wrist. Yeah, you're getting the fatness of the earth and you're getting all the good things now. We see that. We seen that. Enjoy. Enjoy. I'm not mad at you. I'll be enjoying too. And by the sword shall thy live. You live by the sword, you torture and shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off. I mean, God is going to cut it off at the end. All that y'all got now is going to be cut off. It's going to be our time now. It's going to be our time. And it will be cut off. No more hateful crimes, no more putting viruses in there and polluting our communities, no more lynching us in a modern day technology way, no more shooting us down when we ain't got no gun or no weapon by the police, no more racist judges and the jury and the prosecutors and the DAs convicting us of crimes that we didn't commit, no more running us over with cars, no more coming into restaurants, our churches and shooting us up. No more, none of that. He said, I'm going to cut it off. So stop walking around here, children of Israel, children of Jacob. Walk with your head down, walk with your head up. Know this. They look down on us, but you can look at them and say, yeah. Walk proudly. Go these job interviewing knowing that they're going to be this way, but your time is coming. And know that God is still going to bless and promote you. He said that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. God said he's going to break the yoke off our neck. We're going to be blessed. All the chains going to fall off. All that stuff we went through. All the slaving, all the hard work, torment, and not getting paid nothing. It got so bad and it's getting so bad, we get so caught up to where we get used to not going and getting checked out regularly. We be so tired and miserable of what's going on in his life, our people. And Esau hated Jacob. He said Esau hated Jacob. So Esau's the racist, that's why they hate us. That's why the KKK hate us. That's why they don't even know why they hate us, a lot of them. They hate us because it's written right here. It's in their blood to hate us. It's in their blood to be warlike people, to start up strife, to kill us, to lynch us. The Esau's hate us. They want to blow us up. They hate us because we represent Christ. They hate us because we were the chosen ones. We are the real Jews. We are the real chosen one. We are the true one, the true chosen Jews. We are the true children of Jacob. Yahweh Shah chose us. Yeshua died for us. So that's why they hate us. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of this. So this really meaning saying, and the racist people hated the children of Israel because of this blessing. All the other tribes hated us. All the other countries hate the African Americans because of this blessing. That's why the African Americans here are targeted the most when it comes to everything. Everything. Because we have been cursed. We have been disobedient to our God, and he has cursed us. But he said the ones that he used to curse us, to oppress us, y'all will have to pay too, just for cursing God's chosen. So we got to pay first. Y'all going to have to pay second. Sorry, that's the way God is. He is omnipotent. He does what he want to do. We can't control it because he is the one who gives the breath of life. Hated us because of the blessing. They say the world hate us because of this blessing. Whereof his father blessed him, wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau, and that's God blessing us, said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And to this day, on the Esau, that's Esau saying that, slay my brother Jacob. The Esau's been trying to slay us African Americans since Egypt. That's when it started. So we've been slaved, and they still slaying us, y'all. You know that African American girls are the highest percentage in being snatched, taken, kidnapped, abducted. They're grabbing us. They're grabbing our girls, y'all. Black and brown girls here in this country are snatched the most. How come we're the highest number in everything? That's the Esau's taking our kids and slaying them. Pray for our kids, y'all. Ask God to have mercy on our little black girls. Y'all better watch them. Watch them closely. Don't let them walk around the streets by themselves. Or y'all crazy? Y'all, that's stupid. Y'all need to be slapped. You don't even let a 12-year-old girl walk around by herself. I wish I knew how y'all were, and I wish I had the authority to whoop the shit out of y'all. Because it makes me sick. We're the target. We got two more scriptures to read, and we're done. What does it say in Sirach, in 2nd Ezra? Y'all better start getting this book. It's going to open up some words. Open up some minds, I mean. Study. Know who you are. First, we're going to go to Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. But before we go there, we're going to go to Ezra. No, we're going to go to Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8. Sirach, chapter 10, verse 8. And then we'll hit Genesis, okay? We are the chosen. We are them. We are the... Right now, we are treated like fugitives. We are treated like aliens because we do not belong here. That's why we're treated like this, because this is not our world. This is not our world. Your Hebrew mom and dad and brothers and sisters who passed away, they're in the world that we're going to be entering soon. In order to gain, you must die in the flesh. Okay, it says in Sirach or Ecclesiastics. Ecclesiastics chapter 10, verse 8 says this. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Now, two ways we can go with this. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, we're talking about the Esau's here also, how a lot of them came up by doing evil. A lot of judges got rich by uncorrupt justice. A lot of police got wealthy and having their good life because they're doing corrupt things in the justice department, police department. The governors are crooked and getting money and overtaxing and doing all type of stuff. And so we have unrighteous dealings, overcharging health insurance. We can't afford it, not giving us the best treatments and deny us and only take the rich money. Injury, killing us, beating us, causing harm to our bodies by giving us chemicals that your scientists created stuff for us to put in our hair and our shampoo and lotions and stuff, knowing that it's not good for us, and letting the Food, Drug, and Health Administration approve the stuff that should not be approved, that y'all are letting them put stuff on the shelves to this day. So that's injuries and riches you got by deceit, deceiving us, getting rich off of us, putting commercials out. That's messages that is subliminal. That's subliminal messages y'all putting out there, not telling the whole truth. You'll say you'll advertise alcohol in a minute, but you ain't gonna let our kids know that it'll kill your liver. The message is subliminal. And the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So that means that you got this kingdom, that you did all that. Now it's going to be translated into our kingdom now. It's going to be our kingdom. And God's going to make sure it's done right this time. And this time y'all going to have to serve us. See, that's why Jesus made the comment of those who serve you will be greater than you. Those who serve you will be greater than you. So we're serving you right now. But in the end time come, then y'all be serving us. And that will be it. It will be no more serving after that. So we're greater than you now. We're going to be greater than you coming. That's what that means. We're going to be greater than you. I'm going to take a break right after this. Okay, we got through that point. Okay, so it says that because of righteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, talking about America, the people who got this country, running this country, you got a lot of stuff by deceit. A lot of y'all people that got rich and got a lot of good stuff by deceit, bribery, lies, all that type of stuff, and that's how this country grew. But a lot of them killed and murdered a lot of us just so your industry or your corporation can make billions. And so y'all make stuff that shouldn't be approved to even be made, and y'all giving it to the citizens here, and we're dying mostly from it, and it's a conspiracy. this is y'all kingdom, is going to be translated to us one day. But keep in mind, it also meant that, you know, the kingdom, even the Jews today that's in Israel are not the original Jews. The original Jews were not white. Y'all know that. Who those people are, I don't even know who they are. They're the Esau's. So the kingdom was translated from us to them there. But even their time is coming to where they will have to serve us as well. That's what that means in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 8. So you have your kingdom now, and it said now it's going to be translated, transformed, translated from one kingdom, from one people to another. That means from your people to our people. Now it's going to be our kingdom. That's the kingdom of Christ. And also it means what we've lost and what you have gained. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. So that means all you Uncle Toms there, who was on the side of the slave masters, who's on the side of the racist Republicans and Democrats out there, or whatever, who's on the side, who's against us and side with the other races or tribes of people, the Esau's, to come against us just so you won't be tortured. Who received the mark of the beast when you weren't supposed to take the mark of the beast. And you're part of the children of Israel. You're gonna have to pay too. All of y'all who are our own people, who are part of the tribe of Jacob, who have murdered us, who have killed us, and you're supposed to be part of the tribe of Jacob, you're gonna pay too. Everything you're doing, you're gonna pay. So both of the Esau's, the black and brown Esau's and the other color Esau's, all of y'all gonna pay. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9 says this. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that followeth. And it says in verse 8, and he said unto me, talking about Esdras, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, when Esau and Jacob was born of Isaac, Isaac is the daddy. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. See, if he would have had his head first, then we would have been ruler of this kingdom first. But Esau held the heel. Jacob held the heel of Esau first. So Jacob holding the heel of Esau, meaning that I'm gonna carry you, you're gonna follow me. I'm in control of the steps. So the Esau's. And then it says, for Esau is the end of the world. Even though Esau was holding the heel of Jacob's when he was in Isaac's wife's, when he was in the stomach of his mother, they were twins. And it says, for Esau is the end of the world. Even though Jacob was holding the heel of Esau, it still says in verse 9, but Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Follow it. So Esau's world is about to be over, y'all. We're the beginning of the new world, the new earth. This is it. A lot of things you're learning in the Bible, they're not telling you this stuff because they step on toes. That same scripture relates to Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And I will put enmity. This is God talking to the snake and Adam and Eve when they were supposed to have eaten the fruit. But we're going to go deeper into the fruit things. I've already talked to y'all about that. It said, and the Lord God said unto the serpent, because you have done this, talked him into sinning, to disobeying God, you are cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shall thy go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Talking to the snake. Talking to us and the snake. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, meaning I will put enmity between all the racist people, everybody except for the children and the woman, which is the children of Israel. So the woman represents the children of Jacob, us, African Americans, the Americans who are black and brown here. And D in between D means the Esau's. I will put enmity, meaning chaos, strife, conflict between you and the children of Jacob. And we're going through that now. There's conflict between black and white right now, y'all. It's been going on for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, centuries. And it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So it's saying, God is saying that Esau is going to bruise your head. It's going to cut us off, cut the head of us, cut our head off. It's going to hurt us. It's going to bruise us. It's going to rape our wives, going to lynch our husbands, your husbands, going to murder our kids, going to snatch our little girls and make them sex slaves and human trafficking. Going to put viruses, chemicals, and pollution in our communities where we'll get cancers and stuff. To make stuff and put it in stores where they know we can only afford that kind of stuff, but make it to where we'll get cancers from it. Give us medicines that we shouldn't take that's causing us to get cancers. Feeding us crumbs from the master's tables. So he's bruising our head right now. And thou shalt bruise his heel. See, and we'll bruise his heel, meaning that we're going to be a gnat in his, And right here, it says, in Ezra, second Ezra, it says, and he said unto me, from Abraham, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. And here it says, and thou shalt bruise his heel. That's what that means. They're gonna bruise our head and we're gonna bruise their heel. That's in this kingdom, this world. But when it's all over, we're gonna cut off his head. It's not gonna be no more bruising. They're gonna be cut off. You see, we sinned. They disobeyed God, so God say, you're gonna bruise their head for that. Your head is gonna be bruised for that. That means your seed, your people that come from your seed, Adam and Eve, all your children is gonna be bruised. We're suffering from that now. Look at us, y'all. We're bruised. We're going through stuff. We're suffering. We pray hard and we still suffering. We ask God, we're still suffering. They're going to be crying out too, like Lazarus and the rich man. There are times they're going to be praying hard too, and it's not going to stop until everything. And then they'll just be serving us, but they'll be happy. They'll be glad and in peace, but they'll be serving us with all that. But before that, they're gonna have to go through the flames. I'm talking about the people, our oppressors, our transgressors, the one who slaved us, who beat us, who killed us, who murdered us, who treated us bad, who used us as lab rats. That's why he said, I will bruise thy head. And he will bruise thy head. It will bruise thy head. It is the Esau's. That's the high authority. The people high in dark places. The racist people who are in power, who hate us because of who we are, because we was chosen. And God cursed the ground after that. So that's what that means on that. We're done with the second Esdras, Genesis 3 and 15. So the Esau is the end of the world with Esau's in second Esdras. That's the end of the world, second Esdras. For Esau is the end of the world. They're the end of the world, this world. And Jacob is the beginning of the new world. We're the beginning of the new world, the new earth. And then they will be serving us. It's finna turn around, y'all. It's finna flip the script. What we had to do, they're gonna have to do. That's why Jesus said the first shall be last and the last shall be first. So yay! Be excited with joy that we're not gonna have to go through this forever. It's almost over. That's why a lot of prophets, that's why a lot of people who know the word is rushing this. They're rushing World War III. Hurry up and happen. We tired of this life. We want to get out of here dying from cancer, AIDS. We dying from drugs the most. We're locked up in prison the most. We're innocent and they're treating us and killing us when we're unarmed. Don't you look at me like that. Rush it. The Bible said, be haste for the end to come. That means hurry it up. Pray it to happen. Bring it on, y'all. I'm ready. We suffered enough. Try our best to do right and do good, and stuff still coming against us. And all y'all Uncle Toms out there who don't understand what's really going on, y'all gonna pay too. Watch how you treat God's chosen. That's the message for today. Watch how you treat God's chosen. And God's chosen, watch how you treat yourself. Christ have already received it. God have already chosen us. But for those of us, children of Jacob, who don't know God, and those of us who aren't part of the children of Jacob, who do want to receive Christ, your time is coming too. But you still have to pay and serve if you want to get with this Bible. You have to know that, you have to understand that, and you have to admit that and confess the truth. Your ancestors have to pay for what they did. Y'all have to get the experience of serving and being a slave as well as we had to experience it. We're just getting it first because we were disobedient. Y'all gonna get it second because of y'all disobedience. It wasn't even disobedience, we just chose for y'all to be our oppressors. Watch how you treat God's chosen. Until then, this is the end of the lesson. And we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue next Sunday with the Truth Hurts as well. So continue to tune in to my show, TA The Truth Hurts, on YouTube. Also, continue your studies. Send me some comments. If you want me to reach out to you, you can also send me a comment, put your number in, I'll call. And if you want to come and join in my ministry, and we can talk about it, I can give you some information, my addresses, the building, where to go, and be a part of this ministry, STEM, Sycamore Tree Evangelistic Ministries. Until then, thank you for tuning into my show. I am TA the Activist. The truth hurts. Peace out. Much love. Blessings goes out to Yahweh Shah, Yeshua, Jehovah, Christ, my Savior. Amen. God is